Eli's pretty good too, but you're it, kid.
Yeah,
You know you're it.
it's a joy to have you. We are blessed
Oy.
and lucky. You know, after Lester Chambers and after my brain just went blank last year. Who's our wonderful yoga teacher? Our meditation. Who else could there be but you?
Karen Rokard, the sound of Brooklyn comes through your voice like honey. Honey.
That's true.
Süßkeit. One of the great, I once saw a picture. You probably don't know about this picture, Karen. It was some woman, she was standing on a ship and she was wearing a kind of a bikini and she was like outrageously gorgeous. I don't know if you know that picture, but you may have seen it. I think it was in Sports Illustrated. It was quite the woman.
He's making jokes about my sailing career when I used to raise sailboats in a string bikini.
I am not making jokes. I'm honoring a memory, sweetheart.
Starboard. Right. I'm sailing with Abigail.
All right. So you're the best, sweetie. Who's that? Is that Bert? I love that that's Bert. Diane. Queen of the Hop. Dance star. Where is Merce Cunningham when we need him? Sign this girl up. Where's Judith Jameson? She wants to take lessons from this Diane Elliott person. Where is this Diane Elliott? I'm seeing half of an earlobe. Oh, there she is. More than half an earlobe. Baruch Hashem. What a, we already have, this reminds me of the great quote, the great Jeffersonian quote. When Kennedy had all, do you know this quote? Kennedy had all these Nobel Prize winners at the White House. And someone said to him, what was it like, Jack Kennedy? JFK? He said, well, it was the most collected genius at one time in the White House, except for when Jefferson dined alone. Right here, we have a chevra. We have quite the chevra already. This is quite lovely. I'm going to just...
So much genius can cause
Big John.
It can
Big
cause
John
Zoom to go haywire, right, Lorelei? So much genius and power in one room. My God.
It's the hashmal.
It's like the circle of the Baal Shem Tov times 10.
Nachon. It's the hashmal, the wheels within the wheels that we have going on here.
John Seidel, way up in Banana Tree. John Seidel playing rhythm for you and me. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yofi. Wow, look at this crew. I love this. Wow.
We're having a big crew here tonight. They've all come to see you, Jack, so it's wonderful that you're all here.
In a sense, you came to see me. In a sense, you came to see each other. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
We have a very, it's like a variety offering tonight. I know most of you know who Rabbi Jack Gabriel is, Rabbi Ya'acov Gabriel, right? But in case you don't know, or if you've never heard of him because you've been on another planet for the last 50 years or something, Jack is a longtime friend of us at the Aquarian Minyan. He was the first spiritual leader of the Woodstock Jewish Congregation in New York, like literally the Woodstock Rabbi. And he's met Jerry Garcia. What can I say? Like, there's really nothing more that I can say that's higher than that. He did sing with Kermit the Frog, which is almost as high as Jerry. But, you know, he's kind of done it all in ways that nobody else has done. And we needed him tonight, and here he is. I'm gonna just let him roll his thing, and I'm also gonna say that at some point we're gonna do a little quick Havdalah between Shabbat and the rest of Rosh HaShanah, which starts as soon as the sun goes down, but I think it's already down by Jack. So Jack, I'll let you decide what the order is, and also please have when we're play the pre-recorded stuff that Jack made for us to share, please have your volume on your computers up as quite high, if possible. That will be helpful. Okay? So welcome, Rebbe, welcome. It's all yours, and you're muted.
There I am.
There you are.
All right, sweetness. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. I did lift you up on loving eagle wings. I have brought you back to me. You will be my precious ones, for all this earth is mine. You will be a sacred family in touch with the divine, forever, for all time. This is for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You had a very full life. I want to send you love from the Aquarian Minyan for the ways you handle strife. You were always such a mensch, and women were your concern. And here we are, left without you, with so much still to learn, with so much still to learn. Va'esa otach al kanfei nisharim, v'yavi otach el Hashem. Va'esa otach al kanfei nisharim, v'yavi otach elai. V'tem li segula, ki li kol ha'aretz, v'atem tiyu li mamlechet kohanim, v'goy kadosh, v'goy kadosh. You have been our precious one, Ruth, and now you've passed it on. May we have your kishkas and your chutzpah until systemic craziness is gone towards women and everyone, towards women and everyone, towards women and everyone. Oy. All right, Havdalah. Well, I didn't count on doing a Havdalah here, but I do have Havdalah and also lighting candles for the second Erev. I happen to have a flame here made of 4 little lights here. I'm going to light a yahrzeit candle for all the people who have been killed in this country of ours, in its violent history. I should have a lot more than one yahrzeit candle, folks. But this is L'Kavod. Now I'm lighting L'Kavod. Okay. Shana Tov, everyone. Thank you, Alice and Eric. I don't know you, but thank you. Okay, I'm gonna light. I happen to have a little glass of Kedem grape juice. If you have wine, good. If you have juice, good. If you have water, great. Don't dehydrate on my account or each other's account tonight. All right. I'm gonna open up the juice. Is it true that the Jewish people are called the grape Jews? Or is that too terrible a pun for the moment? The grape Jews. What do you think, Shoshana?
Really terrible pun.
It was a pretty terrible pun, Gewalt. All right, here we go, grape Jews. Hine el Yeshua tieftach v'lo evchad, ki oziv zimrat ya Adonai, Vayhi lishua. Shaftamayim bisason, mimayne hayeshua. Shaftamayim bisason, mimayne hayeshua. Mayim. Hey mayim bisason, mayim. Hey mayim bisason. Hey. Mayim bisason. Mayim bisason. Ladonai hayeshua. Al amcha bichatecha sela. Adonai tzvot imanu, mizgav lanu, Elohei Yaakov Sela. Adonai tzvot ashrei adam boteach bach, Yahoshia. Hamalka tanenu v'yom kareinu. La, hu. Dim hayata ora v'simcha v'sason v'yakar. La Yehudim hayata yakar v'simcha v'sason v'yakar. Kain lanu. For the Hebrews long ago, they got a lot of joy from lighting lights. So may it be for us. Kos Yeshua Desa, I lift my glass of Kedem, 100% pure grape juice. Uveshem Yah Ekra, I call out to the source of my breath. Yah. Arthur Wasco, I love you for your Yahs. Ay. Brucha at Yah Shechina, Ohaleinu Makora Olamot. Borei Puri Hagafen. Yippee-ki-yo. Yippee-ki-yo, Chevra. That's hot. That's Colorado for yay. Yippee-ki-yo. All right. Manaseh. So I'm going to give you a little caveat about what's coming. I wasn't sure about the quality live, what it was going to look like. It's okay as long as I don't touch my guitar. I think if I pick up my guitar, it's going to sound clangy and bangy. But so I've done a lot of pre-recorded stuff. It's with super musicians. I love these people. They're young kids here in Boulder, Colorado. But they knew the kavanah that I was going out to Oakland and Berkeley and the East Bay and the South Bay and the whole, actually NorCal and the whole burning states of Oregon, Washington, and California, man. All the kids who played this knew where the kavanah was at, man. Even though we were in the bright sunshine of the bubble called Boulder, Colorado, one of the great bubbles of America, protected by God's whim, God's goodwill. So we're gonna have some music that's gonna be outdoorsy, and then we're gonna just do also, and we're gonna check back in and keep it live. All right? So I wanted, before we do another thing, why don't you look at each other? Because look who's here. I don't even know. I'm afraid to look. It's probably bigger than a bread box worth of people. But you look at each other, man, because it's a participatory night. You know? You see each other? Yeah, Shoshana, I'm waving at you. I see Jonathan. And then let's see what else we got here. I see Beverly Potrop. I see Linda and Oriella. I see Debbie and Barry. Oh my God. My God. Sophie Miron. I see Anna Grafton.
You see Jerry Green.
Yay, Jerry Green. Hey, rebel to the max. Maurice Zilber. I see Rob and Kathy. And of course, Lorelei. Lorelei, she has made this thing work now. It's her energy that is making this happen. Lorelei, you're quite the exec gal. So thank you, Lorelei. Don't you blush. And Beth first. Hi, Beth. And Wendy Silverman. And there's a dude to your left. Hello, dude to the left. Who are you?
And there's Acorn and Denny Sunbeam.
Perfect.
My husband.
Diamond and Jerry Miron. What?
It's my husband, Dan. I got him
hi, Dan.
Know your music and stuff.
Okay, and there's Bass Dave, man. Yo, Bass. Love it, man. Barbara Zilber. The Midwife Clinic. Sarah Lynn. Oh my God, we have Canada represented. Sarah Lynn is one of the great. I got to share a quick Torah from Sarah Lynn. Sarah Lynn is a midwife, but she's a midwife's midwife. She's a teacher, a brilliant woman. She's been to Africa, to Sierra Leone, right? Sierra Leone? Yeah. To teach wonderful, beautiful stuff. Wonderful, beautiful stuff. And she once taught me, she works with young girls, many of whom are like 14, 15, 16, and having children. And what do you do if you're 16 years old and you're an immigrant in Toronto and you're having children? So Sarah Lynn taught them a mantra. I am enough. I know enough. I do enough. You know, Sarah Lynn, you're the best. Mwah. Hi, Hannah Cohen. Miriam. Oh, my goodness, Miriam. Edward. Hi, Edward. Wow. All right. I don't think I'm going to go through everybody because we could be a while. So this is lovely. I'm going to go back to asking Lorelei to play the first thing, which is a kind of an intro that we did as a way of saying, let's create a kavanah for the night. All right, so this is Boulder, Colorado. This is the B Gold glass blowing studio. We were locked down and safe, but we played music together. So as Zameret said before, put the volume up because this is going through a bunch of platforms to get to you and it might be a little quiet. All right, rock on.
Okay, I'm going to share it now, and Reb Ya'acov, you also mute, and good luck, everybody.
We are the Blue Man Group. We are a little blue today. We live in a world of strange, and we still have to make our way. We live in a backyard time where something that's slow and careful gets ignored. We live in a backyard time, and magic can still be scored. We live in a holy way. We're partners with God. I guess that's how it started one day. The Arizal, he saw it just that way. We live in a backyard world. Now, we can go slick, we can go down home, we can make a lot of noise, or we can leave it alone. But I think tonight we're gonna be like the Rolling Stone that gathered moss on its way. What key you in? I don't know. E? Yeah. That's an A chord. Yeah. An A one more time. And 2B7, I guess. I never thought I could play with these stupid clothes on. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. And at the end, let's just hold the quiet, not say anything. Thank you. שבת אחיות, גם יחד. So in harmony, people in peace together. So in harmony, people in peace together. People together, locked down, socially distant, but together. We are not alone. We are together. We are together. We are together. Yeah. All right, Benji. How very good, so lovely. People in peace together. How very good and so lovely. People in peace together. In Oakland, in Seattle, in Portland, in St. Louis, in Brixton, in Kingston, in Chile, in Israel. Yeah. Yeah, sweetie.
Reb Jack,
Yes, sweetie.
just shouldn't. I think I was just wondering if the words for that shouldn't have been Zumet Achim Gam Yachad.
Jack, you're muted. Jack, you're muted. Jack. You're still muted.
I can't hear anything.
Yes.
You know what Zalman used to say if you couldn't hear him?
I added
Zalman
auxiliary
say-
speakers, folks. It really helps.
Right. You know what Zalman used to say when people say, we don't hear you? He says, listen louder. Listen louder, Chevra. This is technological adequacy on my part. Not much more than that. So we're doing the best we can. So I just want to share with you all my sweet seekers out there, sweet friends, sweet players, sweet spirits, sweet improvisers during life's exigencies. I just want to thank you all for being here tonight, because even though it doesn't look like it, we're in community, kids. This is called Community 2020. This is community, man. It's the best we can do at the moment. It's not going to always look like this, but right now we're in community. So thank you for creating that holographically, plastically, existentially,
Can't hear a damn thing.
surreptitiously, excitingly.
It's community across the continent and beyond.
Correct. Sarah Lynn's here from Canada. We probably have other Canadians too. We may have a couple of Mexican friends too. It'd be lovely. I don't know if we get anybody from England. My friend Philip Rambo, if you're there, Philip, it's pretty early in the morning, man.
Well, you had Sarah Bracha there from England. I mean,
Bracha is
she's
actually
wonderful.
But Sarah Bracha is a Gewalt. Is that woman a Gewalt or is she a Gewalt?
She's powerful. She's amazing.
Gewalt.
We got to get her involved with the Minyan. Yeah, she's a Gewalt.
You hear that, Sarah Bracha? Okay, next. The next thing I'm going to play for you is what I thought thematically is going on for this Ganze, this whole Shabbaton and Shabbos and Rosh Hashanah, which is we're on this Gesher and it's feeling pretty tsar. Oh, Ann Arbor. Thank you, Bass. My man, Bass. Yes, Bass. So
It's Bass.
Is it Bass? Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, we're on a Gesher Tsar, and we're trying to just keep those feet moving, man. Keep those feet moving. Reb Nachman said, you know, Gesher Tsar Mod, V'ha'ikar lo lefached klal. Now, the word pachad is a little different than the word yira. And there's one other form, behula, I don't know. Bert knows all this stuff better than I do. The different variations on fear. Bert, correct? I love Bert. Bert, you're the first person to show me how translations could really make magic happen in the second language. Bert, you're the best, man. All right, so Gesher Tsar Mod. So we're going to do this in a kind of a, I know that Zameret did a great version, I think probably already, but we're going to do it in a way with my little force. No, I think it's a quartet. No, it's a trio. It's everybody but the bass player, whose name is Yisrael Yaakov Ben Ruach, took that name. Yisrael Yaakov Ben Ruach, playing bass. Wow, when you hear him. But he's the next segment, the next section. Right now, you're gonna hear Sarah Bracha. You're going to hear Benji some more. You're going to hear me, and we're going to do Gesher Tsar Ma'od in a kind of a Santana way. Nachat Tzadik. Santana. I once watched him at the Grammys, and you know what he said before he started, "Thank you for my Grammy"? You're not going to believe this. He said, I swear, man, in perfect Santana, Bay Area boy. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'nomar amen. Carlos Santana said that receiving a Grammy in front of the universe. How cool is the Bay Area? All right, Kindlech? All right, play that, please. You know, I don't know if there's any other rabbi who plays bass recorded than you.
I'm not sure. I don't think there is. I know some other recorder playing rabbis, but not the bass.
Yeah, like little Chali Lim types.
Little Chali Lim types, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. But not really the way you're playing it.
No.
That is one juicy sound. It's much richer.
Yeah, it's only plastic as well.
I think since you're playing something with that richness, I want to bring in something from key of B minor. Let's see if I can play this with my finger or if I need to get a pick. Like this. This is a song. This is the theme of this. By the way, their Shabbaton, their whole Shabbat is the whole Rosh HaShanah and Shabbat is Gesher Tsar Ma'od, narrow bridge, man. So this is. I'm going to play it in a particular way with a kind of like a blues, like a Carlos Santana shuffle. To a nice place with it rhythmically. Yeah. Carlos, I hear you, man. All of this world is a very narrow bridge. Very narrow bridge. A very narrow bridge. All of this world is a very narrow bridge. Very narrow bridge. כל העולם כולו קשר צר מאוד. קשר צר מאוד. קשר צר מאוד. לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. But the main thing we can do is to know our fears, to walk right through them, yeah. But the main thing we can do is to know our fears and walk on through. Know our fears and walk on through. Now, most people who sing the song translate it differently. The part about having no fear at all, I can't get into that at all. I don't know nobody, except for sociopaths, who have no fear at all. But the main thing we can do is to know our fear and to walk right through them. But the main thing we can do is to know our fear and walk on through. It's to shed our tear and walk on through. It's to get real clear and walk on through. All right, then. Tell it, then. Tell it, then. Sometimes it feels we're gonna fall off to the right. Sometimes fall off to the left. Main thing when you hit your fear, reach for community, and that way you won't be bereft. Not bereft, no. Know your tears and walk on through. Know your fears and walk on through. God is near, walk on through. God is here, walk on through. God is sincere, walk on through. Oh. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Doggies too. Yeah. Yeah, babe. Yeah, babe. לא לפחד, לא לפחד, לא לפחד. Don't stop on that bridge. Keep walking through. Don't stop stop on that bridge. Find out what's new.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Rabbi bantering.
Rabbi banter.
Rabbi banter.
And the chutzpah nudniks.
Sounds like klezmer. Sounds like Romanian klezmer. I like it. You know, so this is really a Rav, you know, folks. I know she's lovely and brilliant, but she also carries another mantle, which makes me very happy to see her in her entirety.
Two more mantles, because I'm also a Kohenet.
And she's a Kohenet.
I'm a Kohenet.
All right, you goddess lovers out there, we got you the real deal. All right. So I want to say we're gonna do a little show and tell now because we've done a little cover on it at the beginning, but I wanted to show you guys. I thought about what we're gonna do today. So this is a mask. What does it have? A lot of kind of music notes on it. All right, so that's part of what we're doing. We're trying to be musical in the face of this virus. This virus is interfering with life, but we're trying to push past that on this night of sacred party, second Erev sacred party. And I just thought that, you know, part of this yontif, you really feel like you're in Argaman, you're in royalty. There's a certain quality of royalty, the Rosh HaShanah, where you feel like I'm looking for my malchut. Where is my groundedness? Where is my royalty? So I got some clothes that colorway. But we also try to go to this place. This is a hard place. We try to go really clean. We try to go really clean. You know, we think, who was I last year that was kind of sketchy? Could I not be sketchy in the year ahead? So this is like, that's symbolic clothing. But sometimes, you know, life is not that black and white. It's not that simple, you know. I mean, sure, sometimes I feel like I think I creeped that person out, or that person creeped me out, and maybe I just wasn't open enough to them, or maybe they touched the right button for bringing me back to my childhood, and I have to own that. You know, my childhood was, you said Wembley. I don't know anything about Wembley, but I do know how to be a little European boy.
Oh, nice.
Because I grew up in South Bronx, which was actually a little piece of Europe. It was kind of like Poland West, where I grew up. It was Poland and Germany and Romania and Transylvania West. It was like for blocks and blocks, everybody's parents were Holocaust survivors. As a matter of fact, until I was 11 years old, I didn't know that you could have a parent without an accent. I assumed everybody's parent had an accent, you know. And I went to this yeshiva, this ultra-Orthodox yeshiva. And that was kind of a miscegenation. But I did the best I could hanging out there. You know, I was like definitely creature from the Black Lagoon, man. I was somebody else. But I did the best I could under the circumstances. 5 years ahead of me at that very same place was the great Rav Aryeh Hirschfield. He went to the same yeshiva Zechor Moshe as I did. Zichrono Livracha. Great, great man. Many of you know him from Oregon and Oakland and from Washington State. So, show and tell. But I am, you know, I sort of brought into my Jewishness back again. I ran away and did rock and roll for many years. And then the Aleph got me. I got bitten by the Aleph man. You know? The Aleph man was Reb Zalman Schachter-Shalomi. Zichrono Livracha. I go ZTL on him actually. Zichrono Tzadik Livracha. It was more than just that to me. And you know, one of the things he showed me was that it's important to every now and then do holy chutzpah and assert a little Rebbehood. You got to go Rebbe every now and then because otherwise you're just rabbi. And no offense to any rabbi sitting out there, but Rebbe has like different skills. Rebbe craft is something different than rabbihood. It's not necessarily being a CEO. It's more like I'm going to look inside your heart and I'm going to move something that much. And in 5 years, that's going to have an effect on you. And that's what Zalman did for me over and over again. He was constantly like adjusting my knobs, but very subtly. So I didn't notice that he was incrementally subverting me to the way of openness. I grew up in a pretty dark place and pretty shut down. But here we are, years later, and we're all trying to open up to the newness. Regardless of our age, our background, we're trying to open up to what is right in front of us. Another thing that my teacher, Reb Zalman, said was, if you don't get enlightened right now, you're really not trying. Because there's so many ways to get high, okay? To get high and feel higher, to be closer to dveikus, to cleaving to something beyond yourself. You might want to call it God, you might want to call it goddess, you might want to call it a lot of things, you know. First of all, you might want to call it say neither, nothing, no thing, none of the above, all the above. My Rabbi was a panentheist. He said all things were in God. Not so much that God was in all things. That's pantheism. But panentheism was all things are in God. So it's even more than you can possibly think of. I kind of like that. He also said another sweet thing I want to share with my friends in Oakland, because he started the Aquarian Minyan, and they're the ones who we're doing this for, at least the initial group. He said, boy, what did he say? He said, the only way to get it together is together. He said that throughout the 60s. The only way to get it together is together. He also said, notice where you're deployed and do what you do from there. You know, I used to connect him sometimes. I'm in Fort Collins, should I do that? And I said, you know what? You're there. Why don't you do what you do there? You know? And that was very, very good advice. And sometimes it's hard advice. You feel like you want to be somewhere else. And so being a little Holocaust kid, I think I've had a yearning to find home for a long time. And maybe some of you can relate to that. We're all looking for a home, you know? A home on this planet. And here's a little home song. Not too controversial, but maybe a little bit. In the key of D minor. Yeah, come right up, Benji. I walk among your trees and houses. I feel your breath of spring. The song that rises from your stillness, no human tongue can sing. I dream a dream of holy spaces within your timeless soul. I am your child across the water. I share the truth you hold. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold. You're made of copper, burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I feel your light. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold. You're made of copper, you're burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I need your light. I cry for you, Yerushalayim. Your children suffer so. You're far away, returning children who love your ancient glow. almond blossom blooms in winter in holy Israel. It whispers that the cold is leaving, springtime will prevail. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani kinor. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani ויחרים צלול כיין וריח אורנים נישא ברוח הרביים עם כל פעמונים ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה. Yerushalayim, you're made of gold, you're made of copper, you're burning bright. Your every song makes me a singer. I see your light. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or halo lechol shiraich ani kinor, ani kinor, ani kinor, ani kinor b'shvilech. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Tzedek, tzedek. Hello. Hi, friends. I'm sorry you're having a problem with volume, many of you. I'm glad that some of you are not, but I'm sorry. It's, I'm not a technophobe at all. I went to a school called the Bronx High School of Science. So I'm not a technophobe, but this is just not easy, folks. I get it. I'd like to make it better. But I'm gonna do some more live stuff. Somebody asked me to answer a question, which is like, so how did Zalman chop you? How did he grab you and pull you out of your particular version of mud? It was like this. I was a singer. I was pretty successful. At one point I was on Columbia Records and I had this very fancy recording contract. And I got to play with all kinds of very fancy people. Some of you saw my biography. I actually met Jerry Garcia, the person, not the ice cream. I met him in 1967 in the Haight. I'm a junior in college. I got hair out to here. I weigh about 11 pounds, and I'm on winter break. So I go out to San Francisco because someone told me about the Summer of Love. Wear a flower in your hair. I said, nah, that doesn't really happen. Yeah, it really does happen. So I find myself in San Francisco, and just a cute little story, and then I'll go back to this. But you guys asked for stories. All right, you're going to get stories, an onslaught of live stories from Rabbi Schechtman Gabriel. So I go to the Haight, and there's this very young girl standing there, and she's got a flower in her hair. I said, this girl is like the poster child for this. And she says, would you like some chocolate cake? And I said, "Oh, sure, I love chocolate cake." She says, "Have a piece." And, you know, I was pretty innocent, naive, dumb, pick a word. Yes. So this lovely young creature gives me a piece of chocolate cake, and I'm right off the plane from New York, you know what I'm saying? Right off the plane. And I take a bite of this chocolate, and for the next 4 hours, I'm standing at a lamppost, unable to move. She has given me something that's about 98% hashish. And I have no idea that that's what is about to happen to me. And so that was my introduction to San Francisco. And so after 4 hours of standing, I think motionless on a street corner, I said, I have to sit down. So I stumble into a coffee house and I order a coffee, and a guy comes down, sits next to me. He's got a beard, he's kind of heavy set, and he looks at me, says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I don't think so." He says, "You don't look okay." I said, "Well, some girl just gave me a piece of chocolate cake." He said, "Oh, the chocolate cake." He says, "Do you want to come to my house? Me and my band are rehearsing. Why don't you just sit at my house?" I said, "That's very nice. What's your name?" "Jerry." "Jerry, come." So Jerry Garcia took me to his house to hear some group called The Dead or something, The Grateful something. I can't believe it. I mean, that was quite a night. Welcome to San Francisco, Schechtman. Anyway, so how did Zalman get me out of that world? That was the world I was floating around in for many years. Like that, not quite as much chocolate cake, but that kind of world. So Zalman, so I start what's called the Woodstock Jewish Congregation, not of my own free will. I get drafted into the job. I'm doing something called the Forum, and in the Forum, be your word and also tell the truth. And I'm doing this, and they give me homework, and the homework is, what do you want to do with your life, man? And I write down, I want to be a rabbi. I want to be a rabbi. It's like I write this like 100 times. I want to be a rabbi. I'm thinking to myself, nah, ain't gonna happen. You're 40 years old. You ain't becoming a rabbi. But I'm writing down, I want to be a rabbi. I'm going to be a rabbi. I want to be a rabbi. I'm going to be a rabbi. So, okay. So what happens is I take something called a 6-day course, and I fly down a mountaintop on a zip line and all kinds of things. And out of that experience, my friends in Woodstock, Lori Schwartz and Nate Brenowitz, say to me, could you come up to Woodstock? We have Jewish kids and we don't know what to do with them. We want them to be Jewish, but we live in Ruby, New York, you know, Yenemveld, Yechupitzville, far away from the center of Jewish anything, far away from the homeland of Brooklyn, where they were from, you know? So I come up there and I'm fresh off flying down a mountaintop on a zip line, feeling very expanded, you know, not Tzimtzum, I'm the other guy. I'm the expanded dude. And I'm singing to these people, I'm saying, Judaism can actually be fun. There's a man named Arthur Waskow, and he has a book called Seasons of Our Joy. And there's a man named Bert Jacobson. There's all kinds of things out there, man. There's something called an Aquarian Minyan. All these things are out there for you. And so I go to one of my congregants says, you know, you should meet this guy, Reb Zalman. I said, why? He said, because he, you know what you're doing? He's doing it bigger. But he's doing what you're reinventing the wheel here out in Ruby, New York, and in Accord and all these places. But there's a man out there who's really kind of got his finger on this. So I go to Philadelphia to go a retreat, and all the cars have left. Everybody has like partnered up and driven away and left their cars in Reb Zalman's parking lot. And I'm coming from Woodstock, where I've been the kind of lay rabbi for 2 years. And there's nobody, I don't know where to go, but I pull into the parking lot. There's only one car left that's leaving. Guess whose car it is? Reb Zalman. So Reb said, I'll give you a ride, he says to me. So I get in the car with Reb Zalman and Yotam, who is 2.5 years old, who's like a little itsy bitsy creature. And we start driving. He says, so what do you do? He said, well, I'm a musician. He says, oh, very nice. He says, yeah. I said, but I lead a congregation. He says, you lead a congregation? I said, well, yeah, they think I'm a rabbi. He says, they think you're a rabbi. What do you think you are? I said, I'm a musician. He said, that's very nice. So he says to me in the car, we're driving along, he goes, so sing me something from the Rosh HaShanah service. I said, what? He says, sing me something. I go, hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-di, di, di. Hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-yi, da-di, di, di. Hi-yi, da-yi, da-di, da-di. Hi-yi, da-di, di, hi-yi, da-di, di. Yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai da da da. So he goes, so your family's Hasidic and you're from like near Lvov? I said, wow. It was like a parlor trick. He said, I can tell you exactly who you are. Just sing me something, I'll tell you who you are. And then he looks at me with his beautiful eyes and says, why are you really in my car? I said, because I need a teacher, Zalman. I don't know what I'm doing. These people think I'm a rabbi. He says, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Let me give you a phone. No, please don't give me to anybody. I can't surrender to anybody. I'm a tough case, Zalman. I'm a rock and roll reggae musician, man. I can't go to JTS. I can't go to HUC. I can't do those things, man. I'm 40 years old. I ain't doing that. I got a life that I've already lived. He says, well, I don't know. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not giving private smichas. I said, please, pretty please. He said, okay, listen. Tonight is Friday night. Tonight, you're going to lead the service at this fellowship farm retreat. I said, tonight? I'm not prepared. He says, well, do you lead services in Woodstock? I said, He said, well, do that. I said, I don't know. He says, okay, I'll do it. So I come in there. and it's like 40 people are sitting around Fellowship Farm, where Martin Luther King used to have his meetings for the civil rights movement, a very holy place. And there are people who I only know from their book jackets. I've seen their faces on book jackets. Arthur Waskow, for example, is sitting there. I go, oh my God, I've been just telling people about him, and I'm going to actually, Zalman wants me to daven for these people. So I'm leading the service. And as I come to a place where I think I've done a chidush or a change, and I'm a little nervous with how these people are going to receive this, I go into this metaphor. I go, in Woodstock, we have a custom, and I do whatever is my chidush. At the end of the service, he comes up to me, and he's got a little smile, and he says, that was very nice, but next time, could you have a little more fun? So that was his first teaching to me. Could you have a little more fun? And I think was probably his deepest teaching, First cut is the deepest. Know that song? First cut is the deepest, man. So Zalman said, could you have a little more fun? And that's basically how I got onto the merry-go-round of Jewish renewal. I was kind of doing my thing in Woodstock, which resembled Jewish renewal. It was my own kind of inchoate version of Jewish renewal. And then I got to see how everybody else was doing it through Zalman. And the other thing I want to say, he is my Rebbe still, it's 34 years later. And I had him 28 years when he was on this planet. Gave me a lot of koach, 28 koach from Reb Zalman. But the thing was, he only got angry at me twice in 28 years. He only got pissed off twice. That's unbelievable to me. I spent a lot of time with Reb Zalman, and I had a lot of ways to piss him off. I'm kind of a stubborn creep. Talk to Karen sometime. I'm a little bit stubborn at times. But anyway, Zalman he never got angry at me. He was like the father that I always wanted, who was like non-judgmental. So that led me into who I am, and I'm forever grateful. Hi. All right, some music. All right. Can you hear this? Yeah?
Beautiful sound.
Thank you. It's a very cool guitar. Her name is Kensington, though she comes from Michigan.
I'm in Kensington.
Dear Father, we ask you to care. Please shepherd us past our despair. Avinu Malkeinu, who can explain you? Your silence is so much to bear. Please hear us when we sing, so stuck in our suffering. Please share your kindness, ending our blindness with the sweet love that you bring. I first learned to translate songs listening to Bert Jacobson. I hope I'm a good Talmud, dearest Rebbe in Elsa Bronte. Lai dai da dai dai, lai da 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 dai, lai da da dai dai da. Asay manu, tzedaka v'chesed. Asay imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Most people sing the song Ashkenazi, but it sounds more Sephardi to me. So the chords that I'm playing, the words that I'm saying, they came from Spain. I think that's what's the truth. Lai, 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 lai. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Avinu, we ask you to care. Imenu, shepherd us past our despair. Avinu Malkeinu, who can explain you? Your silence is so much to bear. Please hear us when we sing, so stuck in our suffering. Please share your kindness, ending our blindness with the sweet love that you bring. Allah, la 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 la. Allah, la 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 la. Allah, la la. Hi la 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 la. La 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 la. Hi, thank you. Thank you. So, Chaverim, we've been actually at this for an hour. If you need to take care of your body, take care of your body, man. I mean, I appreciate the attention, but drink something, eat something, use that bathroom, stretch your body. Look at Diane Elliott. Stretch like Diane Elliott stretches.
How about something Yiddish about the body? You got a Yiddish song for us?
Okay.
Maybe we could do some stretching. Rob's here and Diane. We have the best body movement people in the world with us right now.
I'm seeing Diane right over there. Diane, you want to give us like a couple of? Oh, look at those beautiful fingers. So, sweetie, you want to give us like a couple of like things for our backs, our shoulders, our necks? Yeah, that works for me. I need to do that, man. Otherwise,
everybody.
Oh, yes.
Let's just do a little Avinu Malkeinu with our arms and fingers, and notice what that does to your breathing. As you open your rib case. And then maybe cross your arms, give yourself a big hug. And just let your elbows move up and down just slightly. Even that opens the back of your heart and then the front of your heart. Yeah, and don't forget about your feet and your legs. Maybe circle your ankles a little bit, squeeze your toes together, whether they're on the floor or lifted up. And then let's do a little shake out. I'm going to stand, but just the shake out. Just shaking and bouncing a little bit, letting the energy move. Yeah. So Jack, you're like shaking our hearts and our brains with this amazing retranslating of our tradition into reggae, jazz, and the deepest soul. Yeah. Rob disappeared. I want Rob to lead us in something too. Are you here, Rob?
This is not going to turn to Hefker. I can't let it go into like complete. I'm sort of the guy doing this. All right, but I'm glad we got that part. Thank you. So, there is a nice thing that I did. I did something called Hooked on Shlomo. Remember K-Tel Records presents Hooked on Bossa Nova, and they do like one song after another. Shlomo Carlebach's music so lent itself to that. Reb Zalman was always like talking about, if you take Shlomo's waltzes, he could waltz us into the next century. You just do one after another, of Shlomo's waltzes. So I have a thing that I recorded with these really hot musicians you've been listening to called Hooked on Shlomo. And I would love you to just watch that, because it's kind of, you get to see Sarah Bracha again, you get to see Benji, and you get to hear some Shlomo music. I mean, I could do it, but it's not the same without these like hot musicians. Would you indulge me? I know the sound's not going to be as good, but you'll get the energy. All right. So Lorelei, can you run that Hooked on Shlomo? It's supposed to be 6A in the structure. So, sometimes it's hard for me to describe who I am, but sometimes hats help me. See, it says CR on it, Colorado Rebbe. Before that, I was a California Rebbe. Before that, this is a Maple Leaf, Canadian Rebbe. They're all CRs. I have a bunch of CRs as my karma somehow. I kept CRing over. Am I what?
Kerma.
My Kerma was the CR. She's fast, man. This is one heck of a Kabbalist. Do you know what makes us Kabbalists, the two of us? We have to cobble things together to earn a living. We need to cobble a little this and that, so we cobble away. Don't we?
Cobble this, cobble that.
Cobble that. That's right. Correct. All right. So I want to do a tune, actually a mashup of 3 songs. I'm going to put on my Happy Yamo for this, and these are in honor of the Sacred Music Night. I don't think it can complete for the Aquarian Minyan or for the House of Love and Prayer without one Shlomo medley. This is a medley, and it's 3 songs, and the first one is Psalm 92, the Sabbath or the Holiday Psalm, which is Tov Lahodot Ladonai. And then the second one comes out of it will be God in Four Worlds, which was English words by Reb Zalman and melody by Shlomo. As far as I know, it's the only song they co-wrote. Yeah, and the last one is a song that I strangely co-wrote with Shlomo Carlebach. Strangely in the sense that I was supposed to go on tour with him in Florida. Well, no, yeah, he was unaware, but it was darker than that. I'm sorry, but I got to get a little dark here. It was darker than that. So what happens is I get a call from a friend, Stevie Klein, who's living in St. Petersburg, and he says, "Hey, how would you like to play 6 places in Florida with Shlomo Carlebach?" I said, "I'd love it, man." He said, "Well, I can set it up." I said, "Set it up." So I get very excited, and I start randomly, Shlomo and his 5,000 melodies. I know a bunch of them, many, but not a lot. That's funny, many, but not a lot, okay? So here is, I started working on I just started playing around in kind of almost a reggae rhythm. And I was doing that, and English words came to me. And I said, wow, this has never happened before, to take a Shlomo niggun and to have words come to you. Doesn't happen that often. So out came these words, and I said, oh my goodness. I said, that's really cool. Okay, now you may not know this, my friend Sarah Bracha, my friend Benji, but once upon a time, I was terrified of telling stories on a stage.
Get out of here.
Correct.
What?
What? Jack, you love to talk, man.
Especially on a stage.
On stage. Give me a microphone, I go nuts. Yeah. Anyway, I was at that point in my life, but this goes back to 1994. I was actually afraid to tell stories. I always was sure I was going to forget pieces of the story and I'd weird out. So I kind of avoided it. I would write out notes and say, just say those things, Jack, to introduce a song. I was like an uptight folk singer. Anyway, this particular afternoon, out came the song, and then something terrible happened. I get a phone call at 6 o'clock that night from my friend Stevie, or maybe a little later, Stevie Klein saying, tour's not happening. I said, oh, well, I'm sorry. He says, no, I'm really sorry. Shlomo just died. Shlomo died in the airport in Montreal, trying to get to see his family in Toronto. He literally, his heart burst. It's a horrible thing, but he had a pacemaker, but he wasn't pacemaking. He wasn't pacemaking. And he just died. And I said, oh my goodness. But you know what happened? I had this kind of hallucinatory vision of him going out the door and saying, and he said, don't worry about storytelling. I can't make this up. It's too stupid to make up. It's just too stupid to make up. It's too much weird to make up. So ever since then, I've been able to tell stories about my songs and about other people's songs. It was like he said, when a great master leaves the world, he leaves some presents. And he threw one at me. And that's why these words that I wrote were really about him, as if I knew he was not going to be around much longer. I didn't know it, but part of my soul must have known it, man, because I was writing it on the day he left. So here we are, hooked on Shlomo. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. שמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. אוי להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. יאי די לי לי
Oy, that was so great. Oh my God.
That was a Gewalt. Gewalt, Sheba Gewalt.
Thank you.
Mamash.
Here I am. Thank you. I'm glad you could hear that. You know, for a while there, my sound dropped out too, and I felt like, oh, that's what other people are going through. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you caught hunks of it. That was really a tribute to Shlomo and to Reb Zalman and the outrageousness of a great Rebbe and in all his facets, you know, pluses and minuses. You know, there's a prayer you say after you eat a little meal, not a big meal, called Borei Nefashot. And there's a very interesting thing in it. He says, the prayer says, Borei Nefashot Rabot V'chesronam. Thank you for creating the vitality, the nefeshes of people, but also thank you for what they lack. It's like God created us with needs for complementarity. You know, so sometimes you look at someone who's a great Rebbe and he's got some spots on his talus, man. He's got some schmutz on his history. And you go, oh man, I can't trust this guy anymore. You gotta I say cut people slack, man. I understand people have been weird in their lives and done good and bad things, but man, we all are sinners. And I ain't talking Christian here, folks. We all have our places of, you know, not handling things. Okay, anyway. So I wanna play something for you. It's actually recorded, but you know, you guys sound like, you don't mind my live. It's not that off. So let me do something live for you. This is a kind of a Latin version of Yismachu Hashamayim. And as we're also conscious now of the climate, of the earth, the sky, the air we breathe. You guys are in the middle of a fire trap. Gewalt. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry that California's on fire. Oregon's on fire. Washington's on fire. You know, it pains me, man. Anyway, but I want to sing you something with a Latin flavor that says, Yismachu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam umalao. You know, let the heavens make simcha. Let the earth be glad, you know. And this particular time I heard it a certain way, it sounded kind of Spanish to me, Latinate. So let me do that. A Latin version of Yismachu Hashamayim. Because we have to celebrate what we got and bring it back if we can, when we can, how we can, under whatever circumstances we can. We got to get the orange viper out of the White House, folks. And we have to not be stung further by him. Every day he does something brutal. This guy's like a brutality machine. So we can't let him hammer us into the ground or the earth. You can hear that, huh? Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let this earth be glad. Let the oceans rock. Let the oceans roar. All the life that they contain, let them sing once more. Yeah. Yes, mechu hashamayim, yes, mechu hashamayim, yes, mechu hashamayim, b'tagel haaretz. Let the oceans rock. Let the oceans roar. All the life that they contain, let them sing once more. Yeah. Let the heavens start to celebrate. Let the oceans start to celebrate. Let the mountains start to celebrate. Let this earth be glad. Yeah. Let this earth be glad. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na. Whoa. Let it go. Watch it flow. Let it go. Heal it so. The earth is a self-regulating mechanism of reality. All humans have to do is not throw a spanner into the works. A spanner into the works. Be Luddites or be jerks. Let's let the earth live so that we can live. Let the rivers live. Let the ponds live. Let Siberia live. Let the Arctic live. Let it all live.
Yeah. Whoa. That was great.
Thank you, Jonathan. So, you know, I just knocked over my larger-than-life shofar. I happen to have this shofar from the Holy Land, which is larger than life, man. It's like bigger than big. Wow. Look at this thingy. It's a beauty, eh? Let me see if I can actually make a sound come out of it. Nine to 11. I don't know if I got the 9 to 11, but I got the 1, I got the 3. And let me see if I can do it one again. Tekiah. Shivarim. Teruah. Tekiah Gedola.
Yay. That was like a krecht. Your krecht.
The last one was a little bit more bluesy than your basic types, but okay. I'm not in shape, man. But I want to show you something. Once upon a time, I was completely enamored with a guy named Robert Allen Zimmerman. Robert Allen Zimmerman was born in Duluth, Minnesota on May 28th of 1941. That would make him 79 years old. Robert Allen Zimmerman, father's name was Avram. Mother's name was Beatrice or Beatty. His name was given at birth. Robert Allen Zimmerman's name was Shabtai Zisel ben Avram. Shabtai Zisel. So Shabtai Zisel went on to become Bobby Dylan. Shabtai Zisel. I love Bob Dylan, man. I can't help loving him. He's so Americana, man. He took the Jewish heritage and became Bob Dylan, man. Anyway, I just got to share a little story about him. His papa, Avram, unfortunately contracted polio. Bob was only 6 years old. His papa had an appliance store in the kind of bustling little town of Duluth, Minnesota. So Papa couldn't deal with the energy level. And so he took his son to Beatty's old home, which was a much smaller, more conservative place called Hibbing, Minnesota. So Bob grew up in Hibbing, not in Duluth. And they both were on the Mesabi Range, which is where the earth got turned into iron ore and slag. You take the ore, you leave the slag. You leave the direct behind, sort of, but there's no behind. But okay, anyway. So Bob grew up from the age of 6, an outsider. He had to go to a smaller town where things were more conservative. He never, this is psycho-spiritual, he didn't tell me this. So this is psycho-spiritual guessing. What is it like to be 6 years old and for your father to come down with polio? And then you have to move to some place where you're a complete outsider. You either die or you become the world's best songwriter. One or the other. So Bob chose the Nobel Prize, man. He went Nobel Prize. But, so I got to love him for that. And he is such a master in so many brilliant ways. There's a song of his that I play quite differently than him, but I hope it's in his spirit. I'm going to play it for you now. So this is Robert on your year of 79. Chazak, 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 man. Stay strong, man. Stay, Bob. Put it out. He put out a new song called Murder Most Foul. Guy puts out a 17-minute song that goes to the top of the music charts. 17-minute song all about the Kennedy assassination. And why does he put it out now? I don't know. But it actually fits into the times where we feel like justice is being assassinated in this country. So Bob put it out and said, no, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about that. Anyway, this is a song of Bob's, and I'm going to play it in the kind of a Joni Mitchell way. Just because. I don't know. I love her too. You like her, Jonathan? Joni Mitchell? Feel a connection?
Go for it, Jack. Go for it.
All right, man. Sophie Marone, I love this Wechter. Thank you for representing Abe, who makes these somewhere in, I think, in Asia.
That was Jock Fillion, this guy over here.
Oh yeah? You actually, so you worked for Abe?
No, I was just a rep.
Very cool.
I
bought the guitar that doesn't exist anymore. It was called Manny's. It was on 47th or 48th Street in Manhattan. I walked in, I looked at it, I said, what is that, man? They said, it's a Wechter. I said, a Wechter? It sounds like it's my family. My name is Schechtman. He says, yeah, Abe Wechter he used to work for Gibson, and now he's on his own. He's, I think, he was like in Hong Kong or Singapore, or...
He's making them in China, but I don't think they've been in production for at least 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I have a one-of-a-kind, it's called a Pathmaker. It's beautiful guitar. All right, so I'm going to play a little Pathmaker type raga version of a Bob Dylan song.
And you're making the path to Hashem with your Pathmaker.
Say again?
You're making the path for all of us to Hashem with your Pathmaker.
That is very sweet. I'll take it, man. What a sweet thing to say, man. Thank you. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must they white up sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? Oh, the answer, my friend, it's a blowing in the wind. The answer is a blowing in the wind. How many years must these Rockies persist before they are washed to sea? How many years can black people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a president look up, pretend he does not see? Oh, the answer, my friend, it's a blowing in the wind. The answer is a blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take to know that too many people have died from COVID, from lynching, from sickness, from system overload, from system madness? The answer, my friend, it's a blowing in these winds. You know the answer is a blowing in these winds. The answer is blowing in the hot winds. California's on fire. Oregon's on fire. DC is on fire. Denver is on fire. Grand Junction is on fire. How many roads must a man walk down I just got a request. What was that request? Was that you, Lorelei? You sent me a request, sweetie? What was it? Or was it a
It was
Hoover?
me. It was a Hoover.
What'd you ask for, sweetie?
Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov.
Love it. I'm a big fan of Rabbi Nachman. He was a great Rebbe psychologist long time ago. You know, he didn't believe, no, in despair or depression. Had a prescription to make sadness go. He said, do a little dance, sing a little song, fake it till you make it, up with joy. He said, Hoduleya, Kito, Ki Leolam, Leolam Chasdo. Ivdu et ya b'simcha, ivdu et ya b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Serve your inner in the spirit, serve your inner in the spirit. Serve it up right up with joy, serve it up with joy. We're singing up with joy. We're swinging up with joy. We're saying up with joy, yo, 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 with joy. Ivdu et ya b'simcha, ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Yeah, you can get up and dance. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav bir nana, lefanav bir nana. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel the fire in your vein. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel that cosmic love. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, feel the fire in your vein. Dance, dance, dance with the flame, fix up that love. Up with joy. Up with joy, yo, yo, yo. Up with joy, yo, 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 yo. With joy. Ahuva, she got joy. Lorelei got lots of joy. Zameret, yesh lach simcha. Zameret, she got tons and tons of joy. Marty Potrop, man of joy. Barry Barkin, Debbie Barkin, yes, oh boy. Oh, Karen Rokart. Whoa, 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 whoa. Up with her joy. Oh, Aquarian Minyan. That's who I'm singing. Aquarian Minyan. My old friends. Aquarian Minyan. No one's a Minyan. We are all Chaverim and Chaverot. That's all she wrote. Yeah, 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 up. Gotta find joy in a crazy world, up. Gotta feel joy in a crazy world, up. Sarah Lynn, joy, 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 joy. Toronto, my home for so long, joy, 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 joy. Sonoma, oh God, I love you, Sonoma. Look what happened to you, man, this year. I was the Rebbe there for 3 years. Oh, Wildwood, New Jersey. Even I had joy there. It was kind of wacky, but oh, Woodstock. Wah, 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 up with joy wherever you are. The only way to get it together is together. Said Reb Zalman, get it together, together. Said Reb Shlomo, deeper than deep, higher than high. Mamish Gewalt. Up, up, up. We all go. Up, 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 up. We can all go. Up, up, up. Jonathan Sadell. Yeah. Heck of a Rebbe. You can tell. Oh, Abby. Shoshana Nimbitz too. It's a joy singing here for all of you. Na 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 na, up with joy. Oh, up with joy. I'm singing up with joy. In spite of the crazy, up with joy. I want to thank various people. They were on the credits. But I don't know if the credits are gonna run. Maybe if Lorelai could get that together while I'm saying their names. You can see all the people who came to make this fun. I'm talking about Lorelai Coon, Executive Director. I'm talking about David Gabriel, who did the sound and did the credits and did the titles. I'm talking about Sarah Bracha Gershuni. What a woman. What a Rebbe. Yes, yes, yes. I'm talking about Brian Gold, whose name is Yisrael Yaakov Ben Ruach. Yeah, nice bass player. Talking about Benji Sweetnam. What a Sweetnam he is. What a young prodigy. What a guitar player. I'm saying up with joy. I'm saying up to every girl and boy. I'm saying up with joy. What's my name? Oh, my name is here we go. I got a long name, man. Here's my name. My name is actually Harav Moshe Yaakov Ben Zion Chaim Halevi Reb David Zechrona Levracha Matilda Zechrona Levracha Leviim Shnehem Bat Levi Ben Levi Schechtman Gabriel. That's a mouthful, man. Or you can just call me Reb Jack, or I don't know, Shake, or you can call me, who is that masked man? Who is that guy? The Lone Stranger, I think he is. Oh God, he's a legend in his own mind. Who is that guy? Hi-ho Silver Away. Who is that guy? Up with joy, yes. Up with joy. I'm going to suggest that when this is over, which is in a minute, you schmooze with each other. Why don't you pick up each other's pictures and say, I haven't seen you since last year. And did you know it's Beethoven's 250th birthday this year? I wanted to tell you that all along, Ahuva, but now I get to say it to you in person. 250th birthday for Ludwig, who sang Ode of Joy, Ode to Joy. Ludwig, not Beethoven, yeah. He couldn't hear, at the end he couldn't hear a thing. But he wrote music he could really swing. Ludwig van Beethoven. How did he get into this song? I don't know. Up with joy. All right, so friends, let's go up with joy.
Give out,
Yay!
Woo!
Up with Jack.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
We love you live. We love the other two. We love you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Wow, Gaval, what a night. Everybody, this is our party. This is our
encore.
It's so
encore.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Encore.
Dan Howard. Okay, Dan, I owe you a song or two, Dan. I didn't, but you heard Gesher Tzarmo, but I owe you a song or two. You asked about one particular. I'll get it to you, man. Anyway, Barry Barkin asked for an encore. I cannot refuse the Baal HaBracha. So here's what my final thing is, Mr. Baal HaBracha. Where's that beautiful? Oh, Allison, you're the best. Allison, you're the best. Allison Eric. Beverly Potra, bless you too. Awesome to you too. So Barry Barkin, Baal HaBracha. I want to say B'Shem Amra, in your name, man. You know, L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu Shechente, for the sake of the unification of the male and female, the he, she, it, they, nothing, none of the above, all the above. Ulahord Hashefa Mea Olamot, and to bring down an abundance of healing for each one of us in this new year. Sky Pelico, I love you. Mwah! In this new year, man. Hareni Makabel Elai Mitzvah Bori. Shelby Haftal Reachem Kamoch. I reach out to all my friends in Never Never Land and also in where we are now in the ether, with a place of loving them as I love myself, man. And may we continue to open doors wide for happiness in the face of paradox, in the face of the horrible paradoxes of both the glory of America and the hard things, you know, the hard things in America. Zameret, Moskowitz. Oh yeah, you are Zameret. You're like this blues woman, and you've been I didn't thank you for all the stuff you've done to be the liaison to get me to do the Zameret. Zameret, you get like a special namaste. I see the
Thank
God.
you.
I see the
It's been a
God.
All the work that you did today for all our services. Thank you, Julie.
Oh,
Julie,
wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are the best, Zameret. And
my fish think so too. I just fed them.
You know, that's good. You know, food works.
Yeah. Now they're swimming around. There's food in there.
A fish tank moves on its stomach like an army.
Indeed.
Thank you, Zameret. I can't hear you, sweetie. What did you say?
I said, I got to say, I really, really love the Ivdu. I loved so many of the new takes you do on the older songs that have gotten stale for me. Some of them are they kick tushy.
Yay! Thank you, sweetie. All right, so I was in the middle of that bracha. Let me continue with bracha. So, L'Shem Yichud. And may each one of us find that place in our hearts where we are both of service to others and where others can serve us. It's got to be a two-way street. May we receive beautifully and give beautifully, as Barry Barkin does so beautifully, as Debbie Barkin does so beautifully. May we continue to be in the light of our teachers, but in our own Rebbes within all the time. Find those Rebbes within. And out of that, may we help this America go through its birth pangs of a new Kedusha. We're in the birth pangs, Chevle Moshiach. I already got my Messiah, man. You know who my Messiah is? Greta Thunberg. I don't need anybody but her. She's young, she's a teenager, she tells the truth. She's not cute, she's not adorable, she's just the Messiah. You know? Got a just like Arthur Waska. How old's he? Like 86, 80-something? And she's like 16. And they're on the same wavelength, man. I just love Greta, my Mashiach. And may we find our own ways of helping each other, the environment, and the social rot that's happening not just in America, but you're noticing there's dictators rising up and there's people rising up to confront them all over this globe because we're one race, actually. You talk about different races. There's the black race. No, it's one race. It's called the human race. And we're racing either towards good things or destruction. We should get off the eve of destruction, Barry Maguire, and we should get on the eve of illumination, like Reb Zalman, you know, or the Dalai Lama, or, you know, or Suzuki Roshi. We should get on the eve of salvation and make it happen. All right, so kol tuv, everybody. Mwah. Kisses, hugs, not even virtual hugs. I'm giving you a real hug. Okay? Kol tuv, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the fact, in the ether, in whatever's next. Lorelei.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Reb
What
Jack.
a blessing. Thank you. Everybody who's here tonight, thank you for being here. This is our party, our sacred New Year's party. So in the spirit of party, I will be leaving this open here for a bit so people can schmooze. I'll remind you that tomorrow at 10 o'clock is Rosh HaShanah Day 2 with Oriel Mitchell and her team of all-stars up to bat. 10 o'clock at a completely different link than this one that you should have. If you don't have, send me an email, but pretty sure you all have it. 10 o'clock tomorrow Pacific time. So, you know, I liked so much the part before about the hugging when we gave ourselves a hug. That was so lovely, and I wish I could give all of you a hug. It's so strangely so intimate to be punim here, like together with all these faces, and yet there's that 3D part of it that's really missing. So I'm really sending you all a huge virtual hug from my hugging vibes to you. So enjoy, my friends. I have to go take my dog out because it's 9 in the morning. Bye.
Me over and over and over again, my friends. We're on the eve of salvation. That is great. That's great. Oh.
That you're on salvation.
Yes, we're on the. That's amazing. That's
oh, wait, can I say thank you to Rabbi Diane for just jumping in there like the rock star that she is? Okay.
Hey, Diane.
Yay.
Yay. Is she here?
You just.
Thank you, Diane. You the woman. You the woman, Diane. You the woman.
Thank you, Diane. I love dancing with you.
Oh, thank you, Gloria and everybody. Thank you so much. We'll do it again.
And tomorrow morning, the morning will awake for us. Life will rise
for us. Da, 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 da.
Never ends out your love. We're a sky. Hallelujah.
Yeah, we're sky.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Can't see me?
I want to be, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, love everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for letting me join out in Virginia. I heard about this from Rabbi Jack on his Facebook. And I haven't heard him sing live since I met him back when I was in Colorado State almost 20 years ago. So it was very, very cool.
Glad you could be with us.
You're a neat group. He was my first taste of Jewish renewal, and I haven't seen it since. Now that I'm in southwestern Virginia, you don't see much of that.
Come join us.
We're always on.
To our website.
We're all virtual now.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're on Zoom. Here we are, all the time.
Always open and no waiting.
No waiting.
3 hours later than everything else for us, right?
Every single minute of the day.
We never leave. The Hotel California. You can say goodbye.
Right, the Hotel California.
Yep, welcome. Join us. Please come back.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Yeah, you can't check out of this
thank you
room.
again. But I'm going to go to bed because it's midnight.
It's midnight.
I'm very tired.
Sleep well.
Come back again.
James, Shalamot Paz.
Does Rabbi Jack come in every once in a while with all of you? Or just,
once in a while. We bring him in. It
was
depends.
great.
Yeah, we can bring him in more. We could do that. We'll talk about it.
We had the great good fortune of him living here for 3 or 4 years, up until like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, I remember he was done in California and then he came back to Colorado.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was only there for one semester. I was a visiting student. Instead of going international for a semester, I went to Colorado State and he was at the temple there.
Right.
And it was Rosh HaShanah and I went to services and I couldn't figure out why I was going. I was questioning Judaism the whole bit. And I'm like, I'm going because that's what Jews do. And that was the best answer I could come up with. And I walk in to Rabbi Jack. And I was like, what did I just experience? Holy cow. I had no idea what I was stepping into. Well, and it was the coolest semester where I found my Judaism. So there is a place for me somewhere in this religion. And just hang in there. It'll come around when it comes around. But I think he really kind of connected me. So I was really neat to see all of you. So thank you.
Yes, please come back. Join us. Take care.
Okay. Night.
Good night, Wendy. Nice to see you.
I'm
Good night. Thanks for coming, joining us.
thinking of a secular New Year's with Reb Zalman playing Auld Lang Syne at a convent and leading us out the door into the winter with the shofar playing Auld Lang Syne.
Oh my God.
Secular New Year.
And
I can't remember which year it was.
Hello, Barbara. Nice to see you, sweetheart.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Been too
Hi,
long.
Barbara.
Hi.
Hi, Sky.
Hi, Sky.
Hi.
Guys, hello.
Hey,
So great to
sending
see
you
you.
love, brother.
Party.
How are the fires up there? Do you have air? Can you breathe up there?
We had clear air for all of yesterday for the first time in a month.
All right.
We went down into the green zone, and then this morning it was okay, and then it came back. I was watching the map of the, there's a site where people who have sensors at their homes, and there's actually one here. So I can see what this sensor is reading actually, in real time. But you can really see it all around. It's a crowdsource called Purple Air. It's a really great site. Purple Air.
Yeah, I use it. It's very good. There's another one out there too. AccuWeather, I think it's called. Purple Air is better than AccuWeather. They're the competitor. Oh boy, if a month, you were going for a month then, Sky.
I live up here in Grass Valley.
No, I'm saying you were smoky for a month.
Yeah, I was gone into the smoke for a month.
How did you breathe? I mean, people go to the
I didn't
hospital.
go outside.
Did people go to the hospital?
No, I was inside and with the windows closed for an entire month and the air conditioning on. Or go outside with a mask.
Yeah.
Did you ever get sick from it? Did you ever get sick from it?
Yeah, there was one day that I was out a little bit too much and I didn't feel good, but I had headaches, which I don't usually have. Thank God. I really don't like them. But, I felt that quite a number of days I would just get headachy. So it is pretty intense.
Yeah, I was caught in a fire in the early days of being a hippie, and we kind of lived in a smokestack, and my lungs would be fucked up, and so if it's just a little bit, I'll start to feel really sick. My left side of my face will kind of water, and I'll have to go to. I won't be able to think right. It's really weird. My muscles hurt.
I talked to you.
And
this still happens?
It just stopped last week. I can't go out at all. I mean, it comes into my house. I wasn't out. I was out one day. I had to get something. And in a week, and I waited for the purple level to get down below 60. But I was a mess. I mean, I was wearing two masks, the N95 and the COVID mask. I would have ordered a big rubber thing with the air conditioner.
Are you going, Julie?
Yeah. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
See you at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
See you again.
I'm going to sign off too. Good night, everyone. Nice to see you. See you tomorrow.
Good night. I will sign off too.
Good night, Hannah.
Ya'acov, I know you're listening back.
Good night.
Brother, bless you for all the good news you put out, man.
Good night, Barry.
Good night, dear heart. Bless you.
Good night, Barry. See you.
Good night, everybody. Be well.
Good night, everybody. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Such a preciousness to be with everybody. There again and again and start the new year together.
Oh boy. Happy New Year. You have a lovely year. Lovely year.
Thank you for a wonderful evening. Wonderful evening.
This was so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Susie. Jack, you're here.
I'm here. I was just, taking a momentary breath. That was Gewaltville, man. Thank you so much for letting me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jack.
Oh man, it feels good. Feels
Joy, joy, joy.
Community, man, makes it work. Edward, you know I have a. Oh, is my sister calling? Hold on a second. I gotta talk to her.
It's amazing how much connection we can have through this internet Zoom experience.
It's fascinating. It really is. It's got me thinking.
It's such an amazing blessing in the midst of our adversity.
It is.
It's so paradoxical. I mean, I see my friends and my community a heck of a lot more than I normally would.
Exactly. And all over the world.
And daven much more than I normally would.
Yeah. Wouldn't think.
You don't have to schlep to the show, you know.
And family too. So we connect more with them too.
And deeper, because it's a thing. And so I find my conversations with my sister much more real, much less superficial. It's amazing. And look, the intimacy that's increased with you using Zoom. I mean, you can, I'm working on a smell-o-vision, but that's all else you need. It's coming along pretty good. There are two parts. There's the nose and then the smeller. The smeller and the smelly. You have to invent them both and connect them with the USB port, and then you're done.
Truly, what is happening is what I recall being envisioned by Zalman. Really, Reb Zalman looked to seeing the Jewish community, all the diversity resolved and combined, and people being there in full presence to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I know the meditations I've been tuned into for the last 30 days. I'm zoomed out and blown away with tears that have been cleansing. Whoa, I am new today.
Oh,
hallelujah.
90 years old and new.
90?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you were 50. I'm serious. You stopped the clock at 50. I'm sorry. You didn't get off the elevator.
Gloria, your youth is evident to all of us.
That's
your beauty and your youth are evident.
That's why I come here to hear such good things.
I think it's amazing to be
travel all the way from Milwaukee with one push of the finger.
I know. Milwaukee's a bitch to get out of.
It's amazing to be teenagers in these eldering bodies.
I know, yeah, Frozen. The Peter Pan generation. Bubble pop.
It's not though. My mom lived till she was 92, and she was cognizant to the very end. And she would often say, Marty,
that guy's upside
you
down.
don't get old inside. But, I mean, your body gets old, but in your head, you don't get old.
Yeah.
So,
if you're a yogi and you breathe, you have a good chance of staying lively.
Of what?
I tried teaching Zalman how to breathe, but he didn't quite make it to 90. And Reb Ya'acov, you were on the scene way before me. I don't know anybody else who was there before me.
Absolutely. The other thing about Reb Zalman that's interesting to me is when people ask me, how long has he been in your life? I say, well, 34 years, but that's not true. He actually was in my life for 50 years because I already heard about him. A friend of mine was driving through the night with him in Winnipeg in 1960. And I was working as a copy boy at the New York Post midnight to 8 in the morning. And I get this call from my friend Yehuda, who was my conga player and drum. And he says, I'm driving with this rabbi and we're going, you know, I'm smoking a joint. Doesn't seem to bother this rabbi. I said, interesting rabbi. What's his name? Zalman Schachter. I said, uh-huh. And then, you know, didn't see him, didn't know. And then I got to meet his son in Toronto 10 years later. I'm living in Toronto. And only 6 years after that, I meet Zalman. But he was wrecking my life, 16 years.
Chicken and
it was like, you know, so if I'm
potatoes and tomato sauce and cheese.
Man was in my life.
Marty, you're on mic. Your cheese is burning.
We met while he was still in Winnipeg. He had come to Milwaukee to do a talk, and I was called on to drive him wherever he was going. And he needed to get to a store because he wanted to purchase a waterbed. He had just married a young student, and he wanted to return with a waterbed.
Oh,
I
my man.
I know some, you know, I know a great story about him coming from the Aquarian Minyan back to Philadelphia. So it's like wintertime, it's like December 16th, 17th, 19th, somewhere in there. And 3 people, Phyllis Berman and Bobby Brightman and my wife, Cindy Gabriel, all have birthdays between the 16th and 19th of December. So for years, we were all going to a single party together. And that year was at Phyllis and Arthur's house on Lincoln Drive. And we're like sitting around, we're drinking a little mulled apple cider. And, we heard Zalman might make it, but he's in San Francisco. But, and it's kind of like a sedate little party. And then the door flings open, and there's Zalman, and he's got this cassette. And he says, put this on someone. And someone puts it in the cassette machine, and on come these Viennese waltzes. And to the first woman whose birthday it was, maybe Bobby Brightman, he says, may I have this dance? And he starts waltzing Bobby around her living room, around Phyllis's living room. We're all watching this going like, whoa. The new burst of energy just came in. And after he finishes that waltz, another waltz comes on, and he takes Phyllis Berman and says, may I have this dance? And he dances the second birthday girl. And then he does with Cindy. And at the end of the third one, he looks at the rest of us and says, so am I going to have to dance every woman in this place myself? What are you guys doing? So we all started waltzing around. And that's not the thing. He was the merry prankster. He was Robin Hood, and we were the little, guys in Sherwood Forest.
Oh, God, that's so cute.
The merry men and women.
Yeah. That sounds very Dionysian.
Very Dionysian. That's the exact word, Edward. Precisely. So I said to him, where'd you get the tape? He said, well, when I left the Aquarian Minyan, I had to take a cab to the airport because I was going to miss the plane. And the cab driver was playing this tape. And it was beautiful Viennese music. Now, Zalman was from Vienna. He's from Vienna. So he said to the guy, he says, oh, that's beautiful. Buy it from you. And the guy says, hey, it's a homemade tape, man. You don't want to buy this. He says, I'll give you $20. And the guy goes, sure, take it. Zalman takes it, from this cab driver in San Francisco, schleps it to Philadelphia, knowing that he's going to change. I think he knew he was going to change the nature of the party the moment he showed up. And he comes with this little tape that he just, my take on that is, it's a very Hasidic story, actually. The guy was always preparing for the next simcha. Whatever he's up to, he said, well, it's going to be a simcha after this one. What should I do? Oh, go. I'm in a cab. The guy's got a great tape. I think I'll buy it for him. You know what I mean? He was always like a step ahead of the curve, which was part of the magic. Shlomo had a magic. Shlomo was just Mr. Charismatic. He would just light up the room in astounding ways. But Zalman was like, the wheels of his mind were like, wheels within wheels within wheels within wheels. He had so many things going on up there.
We didn't have many wheels on the farm. We had a lot of goats.
A lot of goats? I love it.
Yep, and the farm where we had retreats for the Kalam.
Who's talking now? I didn't see.
He was he was teaching. There were gatherings for the holidays before Kala time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where is the farm?
The farm
What?
outside of Philadelphia, Pottstown.
What was the name of it?
Okay.
Was it a commune in the 60s?
Friendship Farm.
Oh, I think I knew Friendship. I'm from Maryland. I'm from Baltimore. And there was a big commune right up in Pennsylvania near York. And it was a really old commune. It went back to the time of Emerson. And a friend of mine was a pledge there, but I don't think he ever went in. He was dating a girl who lived there. That was a trip. And then Woodstock, we had some friends that went up to Woodstock every week and tripped up there. And then, but I didn't want to do any of that because I was a physics graduate student. I didn't want to stop it from becoming a Nobel Prize. So I wouldn't take any acid. And then eventually I did. And see, I didn't get a Nobel Prize, so I was right in the early days. But yeah, that was the trip. They used to go to Woodstock every weekend with Timothy Leary. That was
Karen?
I think I'm the only one who never even smoked a joint.
Never, yeah. Some people don't. I have a friend, Kiki, and she never does. She did a little bit of drugs one time, and she was nuts. She's usually like everybody thinks she's tripping. She's a very artistic person. She can draw cartoons of everybody just like that. Lives in Eugene, Oregon. If there's any more Eugene, Oregon.
Moment. Pause. I just want to tell Karen that I sent you the words. It's sitting there on your messages that you just sent. It's already there now, Karen. All right, now I'll be quiet. All right, sweetie. All right, go back to it. I'll mute myself.
No, that's all. What was the commune like? Did you know communes in that part of the world? Where did you grow up?
Gloria, I think he's asking you.
I grew up, I'm a suburban housewife with 6 children.
Yeah, but what town did you grow up in? Where were you when the hippies happened?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, were you was there a Milwaukee hippie scene?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're dropping
That's why you ended up as a housewife for a while.
All right. So,
we met when he came for a talk in Milwaukee for a retreat, and he wrote me asking if I would like to come to Berkeley for a week's teaching on Reb Nachman of Bratslav, and that was it. I never was the same. And it
it's like
was
taking acid. You're taking Reb Zalman.
I've never taken any of that.
Okay.
I breathe and I teach meditation and I take care of it.
That's it. That's it. I'm sorry, I had you in the wrong box.
Yeah, no,
meditation and you know.
Slid into this group.
What's that? The audio's a little bit. You slid into the group?
Yeah.
Oh. The audio is funny, isn't it? It doesn't even allow both of you to speak at the same time. Well,
there's so many holy ways to those same places.
And I was there when Sky came on the scene.
We came to visit you in Milwaukee, right?
You did. And you sang that song, "The Morning Will Arise from Us." And you sang that song. I was watching you. You were on the couch there, still there. In fact, it was my husband's birthday. And this weekend was yahrzeit for my husband. He died in 2003. Lived a wonderful life. All he could take of me was 52 years.
Look it out of him.
52 years, that's good. That must have been, that's some love. That's longevity and
Very blessed.
what?
I have been very blessed, Baruch Hashem.
Amen.
And blessed to find all of you now. It's amazing. Even to have found you tonight, because I was zonked out and I was not going to go back to the computer, and something took me to here just in time.
Sometimes that happens. Are you leaving us?
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Later, a little later here. Thank you, Reb Ya'acov.
Shana Tova, beautiful soul.
Gloria bless you. And I want to say to everybody, thank you. I'm going to go now too. This is like so cool. We got to do this again, folks. Don't have to be a special Yontif. Anytime we get together, it'll be a special Yontif.
I know. It's true. It's true.
Guy.
It's so wonderful.
You know, I don't think I did enough songs, but we did talking, but we did what we did. Love you guys.
We do what we do.
It's all great.
Love you.
All
Love you all.
Right. And Karen, remember, if you look through your messages, the words.
Wait, messages or
like what we're doing now, not messages. What we're doing now. If you go back to where
the
it says
chat,
the chat where you asked me.
Oh, thank you. Okay, in the chat. Let me save it then. Thank you.
Yeah, save the chat. Anybody wants to chat, go in and see the save button.
You know something, Karen Rokard?
What?
Karen Rokard?
What?
I got to tell you something very important.
Tell me.
You're the best. You're the absolute best. All right?
Thank you.
Love you, sweetie.
Thank you, yeah.
Whatever went down, man, it was what was going on. We didn't mean to hurt each other. But you're the best, sweetie.
All is good. All is well. All is well in it.
I think, you know, I have a sweatshirt from Stanford. I never went to Stanford. You worked at Stanford. I wear that sweatshirt just about every night for like years.
I want to say to everyone here that, you know, Jack and I had a difficult, challenging, wonderful, crazy time together. And then we had another wonderful, crazy time together. And thank God he's alive and he's well and he's singing and he's breathing and all is good. All is good. I'm here. I can walk again. I could dance. This was only the second time I've danced in years because I've had surgeries in the past year. So, you know, thank you.
That's a good
So this is a great mechila to, you know, everyone can know. It's
as you're talking, Karen, I can see you pogoing happily as you're leading a song. Karen,
I know I'm not allowed to jump anymore.
Like the true punk artist you are.
not allowed to jump anymore.
I got that, but in my Kepler, I have preserved the image of you pogoing. Nice. You can pogo with the best, baby.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. And I will give credit tomorrow.
Okay, call too.
I can't wait to pogo with you, Karen.
The best, baby. The best.
Do you actually use pogo sticks? That would be hilarious. I say,
No.
you should do that at one of our celebrations. Use pogo sticks.
Pogo, the kind of dancing that
with
young
bells.
people do.
Pogo sticks with bells hanging off. Never mind. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Beautiful. Love you all.
By the way, thank Linda Fredericks. Linda Fredericks filmed all those sequences, and she's a filmmaker. And actually, what she does, she writes grants for people in need. She's a very cool woman, Linda Fredericks in Boulder, Colorado. So if you need grant writing, she's like a mamish gewalt. Linda, Fredericks. And just Linda Fredericks.
Is she on YouTube?
And she's a gewalt, man. I don't know how busy she is. She's pretty busy actually, but she took time out just to make sure that I could actually find a studio, like an outdoor. It's actually a glass blowing studio where we recorded stuff, and also just find, you know, she sometimes just knocks on my door and brings flowers because I'm so like I'm so fachada in life that, you know. He brought me an apple. I wasn't going to have an apple for Rosh HaShanah. I said, oh, yeah, apples. Isn't that part of this holiday? But I was so caught up in this whole thing, I didn't even know. So every now and then, I have, you know, anybody do astrology here? I have 0 earth signs. This is not a good thing.
Wow.
You got to one, man.
Good for you, bro.
It's really good.
You're on the
Really
way to heaven when you're not even on earth. That's great.
Now, it's in the four worlds to make sure that your feet touch the ground a lot of the time, man. You got to keep your feet on the ground. Better as I get older. But and also, I don't know, Sarah Bracha Gershuni, she was the head of the Bay Kodesh for the past 6 or 7 years in Boulder, Colorado. And abruptly, they kind of let her go in a not nice way. And I don't get it. Not my favorite Bay Kodesh, but I'm really? Girl, she's like the queen. She's like the Kohenet queen of Yiddishkeit, man. How can you let this woman? Anyway, I will not get on that soapbox. But
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay, guys, we got it. You ready to hear? This is by Reb Ya'acov Schechtman Gabriel. So it's going to be in tomorrow. So we get ready to practice. Avinu, we ask you to care. Please shepherd us past our despair. Imenu Malkeinu, who can explain you? Your silence is too much to bear. Please heal us when we sing, though stuck in our suffering. Share your kindness, ending our blindness with the sweet love that you bring.
What is that?
Is this Dada or what?
Yeah.
It's Reb Jack. It's going to appear tomorrow. We're going to sing it tomorrow.
Yeah. I like the mixer. Does the mixer stay in the back? Or was that a saw? You guys did hear a saw, didn't you?
Yes, I have. I heard a bit.
Yes.
I think it was a
machine or some kind of.
Didn't hear it.
No, really. Oh, wow. It must have been a.
I think that was my housemate using a blender.
Huh? How come some people heard it and some people didn't? That's the thing I'm wondering.
Oh, it's okay. People thought they heard a saw.
That's what I thought.
I unmuted myself. It's all right. You get to be part of this service or whatever it is.
What?
My housemate was using the blender, and I think that's what you thought was a saw.
No, of course not. Of course not. I just said saw-like sound is my intention. But I was wondering why some people heard the saw and some people didn't. I heard the saw and some people didn't hear a saw. I mean, a blender or whatever it was, a noise. Did anybody else not?
I heard a teeny bit, but I was busy singing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was mixed with you singing, so you might.
There you go. We gave you some background, Karen.
There you go. Oh, I'm so excited. I just
No.
do this tomorrow.
This old friend of mine.
Okay, now I got to get this.
I won't be able to